or Luke chapter 12, verses 32 to 34. That is what I want you to do. I want you to break that down. All right? Now, my whole approach tonight is changing literally as I'm speaking, because I wanted to do some teaching on this, but I want to at least set this up and give you those sections so that you have a good idea of where we're headed and how we're going to structure this. Figuring out what's in each section and what they are about, I think will lead to a very important revelation, discovery of what this chapter is talking about and how to break it down. All right, and I think this will be beneficial to everyone. Now, another thing that we need to do is on the VBC 66 app in the Sermon and Bible Study Notes section. In the Sermon and Bible Study Notes section, I'm going to start posting sermons that offer a more traditional interpretation of Luke chapter 12. Now, the people who were at Victory Baptist Church last night, you're already going to have a pretty good idea of what section. Obviously, you already know what section that we kind of, use to reinterpret the whole chapter. But by listening to these sermons, you'll hear a more traditional approach. And the reason I like to do that is if I'm going to come along and, basically throw out all the traditional interpretations, I want everyone to hear the traditional interpretations, so that when you hear mine, you can contrast the two and go, okay, which one is more textually based? Which one makes their argument based off the text? And where did we go wrong at Victory Baptist Church? How did we mess it up? I want everyone to hear both sides and both approaches, because we're really radically challenging how to handle it. We're really challenging it. And so I want to get everyone, and I could just come along, hit go live and say, hey, here's Luke chapter 12. Here's the verses, right? You see what these verses say? Okay, as a result of what these verses say, we're going to change the interpretation of this text as traditionally given, and we're going to call into question the way people use this, and I could just go straight to it. But if I do that, then I think that's the wrong way to handle it. I think I have to get people to struggle through the text itself, and that's what I want to do. So Luke chapter 12, that is our focus for this week on the VBC 66 app. All right, that is the focus, and we'll find a way to really. I don't know if I'm just going to reteach it at church. I don't necessarily want to do that, but maybe we will for Sunday school. Maybe Sunday we'll have all week, and then what I'll try to do is maybe I'll do some teaching. Whenever I have the opportunity to go live, do some teaching on Luke chapter 12 and try to set up these different sections and figure out how to do this. I may just drive out to the church tomorrow and go live for an hour and do it there. I don't know how I'm going to work it. We'll see. But I at least can get everyone set up. At least I can get everyone focused and get everyone going the right direction. All right. So Luke chapter 12 verses 1. Luke chapter 12 verses 1, I believe 1 through 48. I think is what I said. Read that 5 times. Break the sections down. Luke 12, and I gave you the different sections. When you look at those sections, remember you need to give those sections a title that accurately describes the content of each section. Just don't call it section 1, section 2. If you strongly disagree with the way we've broken the sections down, I think you'll this is what I think will happen. If you try to expand the outline, I think what you'll do is you're going to get lost. You're going to get lost in the forest, right? I think you're going to get lost. You're going to be so deep into the trees that you're not going to see the overall forest itself, if that makes sense. You're going to miss the big picture. We need to see the big picture, break down the sections, then kind of say, oh, this is what's happening here in Luke 12, and then we can take a step back and then I think really dive into the difficult section that I think everyone should see the difficulty there, and then cause them to pause and reconsider the whole chapter. I really do. I think there's two sections in Luke 12, 1 to 48. I think there's two sections of scripture that every Christian who reads should pause and go, wait a minute. How does this work? How do I handle this? And I think that in most sermons that I have heard, they don't really do that. And I think that is an important thing to discuss. All right. So I at least wanted to go live and at least get everyone set up and at least start this. For the people who are at Victory Baptist Church, you don't really have much to do. Who were there Sunday night, those who are not, you do, and then we'll see how we want to try to. We want this to really. I want this to really work. I really want to challenge people on this. All right, because the issue is not even Luke 12. The issue is how many chapters have Christians read and completely, in my opinion, actually ignore the text itself. They're just reading in their presuppositions. They're just reading in their Christian 101 language, and they're not really struggling with the text. When you can set aside all of your presuppositions and all of your Christian baggage and just read the text and be real and honest with what the text is saying, it's amazing how radical sometimes your view may appear, but it's not that you're being radical. You're trying to truly be consistent with the text. And people will read the text, grab things from the text that they want to use, and the things they don't want to use, they don't want to use. It's just weird how Christians handle Scripture. It really, 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 really is. All right? And so much more I wanted to do, but I at least wanted to get that set up tonight. All right? Hopefully that will be beneficial. Hopefully. All right, Luke 12. There's your work. The first sermon on Luke 12 has been posted in the Sermon and Bible Study Notes section on the VBC 66 app. It comes, it's a Presbyterian church. I can't remember the name of it, but you can listen to their approach to this. And for those who were at church last night at Victory Baptist Church, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For everyone else, you don't really know where we're going, but we'll get you there sooner than later. And I think you'll benefit greatly from this exercise. All right? Okay, I'll stop there. Everyone have a great night. Thank you for tuning into a live broadcast. Get to work on Luke 12. If you have any questions or if you're confused, email me at newsif@yahoo.com. newsif@yahoo.com. Remember, let's not make this a debate. Let's work together to uncover the truth in Luke 12 and discover how we should handle the text to see if we handle it correctly. That should be your desire, not with just Luke 12, with all the Bible, but I think this will be a great exercise. All right, God bless.